Hey guys, and welcome to the Azenco Outdoor Podcast, the show where we dive into the business of outdoor living and share real strategies from the people making it happen. And with me today is Mr. Arthur James, president and founder of Progressive Screens, and we're here for a really exciting integration. Before we get into all that, Arthur, can you give me a little bit of your background? How did this giant thing start?
I'll tell you what, it's been a really fun ride, over the last few years. Been in the industry, one of the original founders, of the exterior industry within the U.S. market. We started the business back in 2002, but actually I started back in 95 as a distributor, built that up, and then actually started my own zipper screen system back in 2002. 2017 really led to the launch of MagnaTrack, which was the innovative, the most innovative product in the industry, and still really is today. The partnership really from there, has grown tremendously, with the acquisition by Hunter Douglas, where I was acquired back in 2020.
Okay.
Azenco was, integrated into our outdoor platform in 24 in April, which really, worked with Leslie for years, through her dealerships. The pergolas and the screens work so well together. They're just complementary of each other. So it's led to the platform of all of us being owned by Hunter Douglas and, now doing the full integrated screen system, which is exciting, really exciting.
Now we got to dig into that, and let's be candid. That's why we're here. There's a lot going on today, right? We got a pergola going up. We're going to have an integrated screen assembled here in a little bit. I'm really excited about that. But let's back up a little bit. So we're talking about screen integration. What's the difference because you guys have been putting up screens on Azenco pergolas for quite a while now. Yep. What's different now?
So what it's going to bring is basically a fully concealed, almost like a recessed application in the pergolas. Typically the industry, we're just bolting the tracks onto the existing columns, like you see here, on the sample behind us. So the tracks are exposed. What we're going to be doing is really integrating everything so that it's fully concealed, looks as a fully designed and engineered system to give the clients and the end users, all those benefits and the aesthetic appeal that it's going to bring to the table.
Excellent. I love that. When did all this start? Who came up with the idea that we needed a more streamlined integration?
So actually, Alberto and I, have been working with Leslie and Charles, over about the last year plus on the full integration. We actually launched the prototypes at the IBS show in February of 25. So now it's finally coming to fruition, and it's going to be, launched here real shortly.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Okay, so this is the brainchild of you, Charles, Leslie, working together trying to find a solution. Did you have outcry from dealers or end customers about a more sleek solution, or was this just market instinct?
A little bit of both,
okay.
And all the above. So it's something that, has been discussed over the years because, our product has kind of been a bolt-on to not only the Azenco, but also other pergolas within the industry. Some of the other companies have done a similar, but not as sleek as what we're designing here, with an integrated screen or system, to fulfill those needs. It's going to give it a phenomenal look with the hood concealing all around, which is going to also allow the weight bar to retract up into the opening. The tracks will be concealed into the columns, both in the inline and the corner sections on there, so it fits all the applications of what would be necessary for the pergola.
Okay, awesome. So essentially, how are we pitching this to end customers? Looks better, won't even notice it. Am I getting that right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Now, what does this mean for architects and designers?
More high-end perceived, especially the millionaires, billionaires that we're dealing with, putting pergolas onto their homes, enhancing and extending their outdoor living area, with the movable roof, with the drop-down screens, all of that, configures from shade, from weather protection. It gives you all of the benefits that you're looking for that outdoor living space.
Amazing. Now, is this something that you think lends itself well to being spec'd in jobs at scale through architecture contracts, things of that nature?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it does too. It's a no-brainer. let's back up on screens a little bit. So for somebody like me who just came into this world of outdoor living 3 months ago, I've learned a lot, trial by fire.
Yep.
Leslie has really pounded a lot of new information into my head, but screens is kind of new to me. So walk me through what like hurricane ratings mean when it comes to screens.
Yep. So everything that we do is MagnaTrack, which was really the disruptor of the industry, the game changer. So the moving inner track on opposite pole neodymium magnets allows a free floating motion. So if you get any movement of the structure of the louver, pergola, or you're mounting to existing substrates, that are out of square, out of alignment, the track system really self-compensates, self-adjusts on its own. Which is really the game changer that it brought to the industry. With that, what screens offer on pergolas is pergolas, are kind of 50% effective without the sidewalls. We can't mount our screens without a roof structure over top. That's why I say they're really complementary of each other. So whether you're looking for bug protection, solar, privacy from your nosy neighbors, you want sun abatement, so it reduces that glare coming in on your outdoor TV into that space. It offers that high wind, wide span system that's going to perform on demand and perform as you purchase the product for it. Hurricane screens are a different animal. Even though all aspects of our system, the same track that we use on our insect screen is used on our hurricane screen. So it's just a different material. So we actually have a Kevlar polyester blend of material, thicker yarn strands, for that high wind flying object impact that's going to resist it. Now, however, hurricane screens really aren't made to be used on pergolas. Since they're, adding sidewall, momentum to the structure that's not engineered on it. So we really don't promote the hurricane product onto any pergola structure unless it's completely redesigned around that aspect of it. But the solar, the vinyl, the insect screens, for multiple use, both in residential and commercial, that's really where our products complement each other.
Amazing. Now, what I'm really excited for is how this is going to help our dealer network. Talk to me about how dealers can pitch this product as they're going out and quoting jobs.
So, really, it's the best of the best, from both aspects of it. The way that the louvered, pergola works from Azenco, it seals tight all the way around. You don't lose heat out the ceiling, when you're trying to heat that space. It contains the cool air. The sidewalls are going to reduce the glare, reduce the heat reduction inside, add fans, add heating, all of those different elements that you can add to the, to that extended living space outside is really how it complements each other.
Okay, excellent. And then walk me through design and engineering when we spec the jobs, we got the quote, or we're working on a quote. Are we working on any way to have a tangible design to hand to end users when it comes to quoting?
Absolutely. So most of that's going to start with Azenco.
Okay.
Building the frame, building the structure, that's going to be there. And then they have the option to go with what's existing currently, as a bolt-on system to, integrate our screens into there or do the new fully concealed fit. The concealed fit is a much higher end look, better aesthetics. It's fully finished, and engineered. I love the way that the hood, the design that all of us came up with where it conceals the weight bar when it's fully retracted. So you don't even notice that the screens are installed. It also gives a different dimensional detail to the Azenco system that I think makes it more robust, and really looks great because it has that cornice effect around the whole perimeter of it that conceals the roller screen and weight bar up inside.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's almost one of those, why hasn't anybody else done this moments?
Exactly.
Right? So congratulations for you guys for being so proactive on that.
It's been great teamwork.
Absolutely. Obviously, we know the product's beautiful, pretty versatile. Are there limitations on this product?
Yeah, so there are going to be some limitations as far as what size screen system that we can actually integrate into the concealed fit product. We are going to limit it to 20 feet wide. So that would be, the maximum, from column to column or column to wall, of 20 feet wide and then 12 feet tall overall. That way it works with our 4-inch roller. standard weight bar, everything rolls up into it. There are going to be a few other, things that we're working on tweaking. Testing today, actually, outside, is on the pitch of the roof structure on the Azenco. We got to get that so that the screen system actually works, so that the weight bar with our adjustable donut, so that you can adjust that so that it still conceals inside the housing configuration. But if you've got extreme widths, if you're doing a 16 or a 20 foot with a pitch on the structure, it is going to possibly leave some of the weight bar exposed. So that's something that the dealers need to be aware of. Also, we are going to be, right now for the launch of the product, we're going to be setting this like we are right now. So the pergola will be shipping along from Azenco. They'll be supplying all the concealed fit components, which integrated into that extrusion is our track housing for MagnaTrack. So we're going to provide a magnetic sleeve that slides down into the extrusion along with our inner track. Those are going to have the opposite pull magnets. So when the dealer receives all the components, they're going to slide the magnet retainer in, secure it in place, drop the inner track into the extrusion, which has all of our track retainers, has everything designed into it, just like you would have with a regular MagnaTrack system. We're going to be supplying the screen, the roller, the weight bar, along with the inner track and magnetic retainer, which will be, concealed into the fit system of the Azenco when you receive it on site. So again, it's going to be 20 feet wide, 12 feet tall. We didn't configure it for the larger rollers and the larger spans, so the 5 3/4 doesn't really fit inside that hood configuration. Otherwise, we'd have to go bigger and bulky.
Okay. So a lot of ingenuity went into this and a lot of considerations. And speaking of which, Charles, we all made the 3-hour trek up here to finalize this design. How important is it that Charles come here and get hands on the project today?
Absolutely. I mean, he's the creator of all this. So, this is his baby, just like MagnaTrack is my baby. So, all of us are very much involved in the whole process of this.
All right, Arthur, so let's switch gears and talk about aesthetics and options. Do they only come in black?
No, so all of our colors with MagnaTrack actually match the Azenco product. So we've changed, over this last year, is a big undertaking for us as well. So we changed all of our finishes to the textured finishes. So the white, the dark gray, which was the bronze gray prior with Azenco, we have that matching color as one of our standard colors so that we keep the unity and harmonization within our group and our supply chains. We also have the white. And then there is going to be a bronze that we've been working on behind the scenes that's up and coming for you. So you're going to have the 4 colors of the pergolas, which will be your white, your black, your dark gray, and then the bronze is coming, which is your neutral tone, same as what we have with MagnaTrack today. All of those are going to coordinate, in the color of the pergola that you select. We can also do custom colors if necessary. I know some of you, and some of your clients, choose to go that direction, want something very unique to match the decor of the home. So we can do custom colors as well, both in the screens and the Azenco pergola.
Very nice, very nice. And I got to ask, very curious, talk to me about the outside cap and how I don't want to call it a cap, I don't know what the terminology is, but how it houses the tracks and why that's so important for the system.
Can we break and pull the samples in?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now we got the samples on the set. All right, walk me through this.
Okay, so, basically you're going to have an inline, posts. So if you're doing wider spans, need to add an extra post, you'll see how the whole MagnaTrack track assembly is installed into the system. Then we're going to have our inner track, which will slide down from the top into the track system. So it'll still give you that same movement internally. It'll have all the same rubber gaskets inside of it. And this will actually fit.
Let me help you, brother.
Okay.
Go for it.
So this will fit right onto the face of the inline post. So it actually makes the column more of an 8-inch wide column in the center of it with the 2 integrated tracks. There are not going to be any exposed fasteners on it. So it's going to have a sleek, look to it that'll be fully continuous on there. And then up inside the top is where you're going to have the housing that's going to house the roller and the weight bar all up inside of it. We also have a corner section. So for those 90-degree corners where you're exposing, you're going to have your corner section, which again houses both of the track systems inside of it. It'll give you a fully finished corner section, and we'll have all the dimensions, all the ordering processes, everything in place for this as it's released here over the next 30 days.
Okay, so maybe I missed it in all the excitement. Is this also a retrofit option for current pergolas?
Absolutely.
Can you walk me through that?
All those existing pergolas that don't have screens is potential for additional business. So this is retrofittable to the existing pergola. The way the whole system works, there's a couple brackets that hold the concealed fit system onto it that Charles has worked, phenomenally on, designing. The housing actually locks onto the top beam and comes around. It's going to have corner sections on it. So when you are doing those 90-degree corners, it has a corner plate which covers and conceals the whole hood configuration. It also has an end plate if you're going up against a wall or a dead end on the system. So you could actually just do it along the front of the pergola if you wanted to with two end caps, or you could turn those 90-degree corners and turn it into the radiuses.
Here's the problem. All that stuff up there, aren't you going to impede water flow in the gutter system on the pergola?
No, all that's been worked around on there. So any of the drains, you'll have to do some modifications to the caps or the concealed fit system, to still have the water drainage come out through the scuppers on there. So I haven't seen that, to be honest with you. So I'm excited to see what the designs are on that Charles has been working on.
Well, candidly, I walked through the design with Leslie, and what's cool about this is on our side, it doesn't impede any of our gutter space. We don't lose any volume whatsoever, and that's really unique to this integration.
Oh, absolutely, because everything's designed on the outside.
Exactly.
So it definitely does not impede any of the gutter system, the water management, on the product. All of that still works the same.
Amazing. Love to hear that.
Yep.
All right, so walk me through how recent partnerships and acquisitions under the hood of Hunter Douglas have helped to integrate ultimately customers getting better products.
Yeah, so, with that, the partnership, that Leslie, Charles, myself, and my team here at MagnaTrack have, the majority of the Azenco dealers use MagnaTrack. One, you're selling the best pergola in the market and the best screen system. So those two complement each other, obviously both under the same family of Hunter Douglas, but you're getting the best benefits from all the products that we're doing. So this has brought more unity to our dealers, buying the products. As we grow, as we, evolve, through this, again, system integration is going to be real easy so that we can make it easier for our dealers to order from us. Integrate and order the screens at the same time as the pergola. Everything's built and designed so that they can go out in a one setup. They don't have to go out there, build the pergola, get the measurements, submit the order for the screens, and order the screens afterwards. It's all going to be designed. We'll have all the spec sheets. We'll have all the order forms. At some point and coming in the future, you'll be able to do a one-step process as far as the ordering. That's our intentions. I don't have an exact timeline on that, but it is all in the works right now.
Absolutely. Love that. All right, so let's talk about what's on every dealer's mind: pricing, how do we sell this, and installation times. So let's start with install times. Are we looking at the same as what typical installs we've seen in the past, or is it a heavier?
So installation time should be about the same.
Okay.
Because it's all similar components that we're using. From the standard MagnaTrack hood to the concealed fit hood, installing the tracks are going to be about the same. So your install time should remain consistent, based on your knowledge, base of the different products. It's going to be very consistent. There's not a whole lot more labor. It's just different attachments that you're actually attaching to the pergola.
Okay. And then Show me the money. What are we talking about with cost here?
So we've been working on this, heavy, because obviously, we're adding a lot of extrusion to the pergola, to the Azenco system. So that costs money. But we've also reduced some of the cost from the MagnaTrack system. So when you go to order this product, we are going to have in our dealer portal a special configured system, which is called the Azenco Concealed Fit. So when you go on to your portal, you're ordering your system. As we said right now, you're going to order the pergola with all the concealed fit accessories onto, through Azenco. Then you're going to go to MagnaTrack's portal, order the Azenco concealed fit system there, which is going to take away the track housing. It's going to give you the magnetic retainer. It's going to give you the inner track and all the other components for our system. Those will transfer probably on the spec sheets from Azenco over to us so that we can process that and we have the proper dimensions for that. Or you can submit your spec sheets, that you've received from Azenco to us, which then will have all those dimensions on it. Again, all of this is a little bit still TBD in process, but over the next 30 days before the launch, we're going to have all this tightened up. We're going to have it available for our dealers, and our goal is to make it as easy as possible. In this. So the whole integration, the price point that you're actually, if you bought the two products individually, the Azenco and the MagnaTrack system, you should almost end up about the same price, which is super cool.
Awesome.
That we were able to achieve there. So all the additional accessories and extrusions that you're getting from Azenco, plus the reduction of the price with the cut of our products out of it, you're getting almost the bang. Is it going to be a little bit more expensive? Yes, it is. But look at the value that you're getting. I mean, the value of this, the innovation of this, how it all unfolds to provide the best aesthetic product in the industry. That's what's awesome.
It's such a no-brainer extension of the house, extension of the business, more revenue, right? So this thing, it's not costing more money, it's paying for itself, right?
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like you're a busy man and you got a lot of work to do. You probably got to supervise Charles, am I right?
No, he's self-sufficient out there, so he's got my team out there working on him, but I'm excited to go out and see how we're progressing.
Well, I won't hold you back any longer. Thanks a lot for coming on the show.
You got it. It's been wonderful. Thank you. And thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys, for watching. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're listening, follow the show on whatever platform you may be on. And remember, life is better outside. Thanks, guys.